with specialists in every area of orthopedic medicine. With a full range of orthopedic care, from physical therapy to complex surgical procedures. With a passion for helping you live life to the fullest. That's how we're leading in orthopedics. That's how Premier Health is leading with care.
The 2016 Flying to the Hoop Invitational, powered by SUVtv. Sponsored by DP&L. Stay safe and warm with Dayton Power and Light. Premier Health, offering a better healthcare experience for you. Marriott Dayton, the host hotel for the Flying to the Hoop Invitational. Sports image, promotion, marketing, and management. Omnisphere, advanced web solutions. Allied Design, refresh your world.
Last game of the 2016 Flying to the Hoop Invitational, and save the best for last, one of the two best teams in the state of Ohio in Division I, the number 2 team in the Associated Press poll, the Lima Cedar Spartans, taking on the home squad, the Thurgood Marshall Cougars, 8-7, but without their Miami of Ohio commit in Derek Daniels. Now, before we get started, the first and last game of every day have the same thing in common, the national anthem. Terrific crowd on hand here for the final game of this year's Classic. Mike Hurd and Steve Wiener here on SUVtv. And the Lima Senior Spartans, 9-0 on the season, 5-0 out of the Three Rivers Athletic Conference that they finished second in last year. Made it to the regional finals before they lost to St. Ignatius. And 31-3 is the career record in 2 years for the head coach in Quincy Simpson. You'll see his son on display, the Division I Co-Player of the Year last year. Headed to the University of Michigan, averaging 31 points a game. Xavier Simpson wears number 5. Marquavius Wilson at 15.9 points per game. A 6'3 senior wears number 0. Ruben Flowers committed to play football at the University of Pittsburgh and just got back today from the University of Pittsburgh. Missed the game this weekend where the Spartans dismantled Ottawa Glandorf. Rico Stafford and Jalen Thomas, 23 and 33. The other side for the Cougars. They go with the big man in the middle, and Evan Claiborne headed to play his college basketball at Cleveland State University. He initially won the tip, but X and the Spartans will start it off. Kadeem Jones, Brock Brown, Darnell Hoskins, Claiborne, and DeBron Robinson. The 5 on the floor for Thurgood Marshall, 8-2 on the year. And they almost steal the first pass of the game, did DeBron Robinson. He came out high and not going to, or at least they're going to start out early on, trying to limit the amount of touches that Xavier gets off of screens.
Yeah, I'd look for Lima Senior to run a lot of motion with the 4 up high.
X now with Lima Senior in the gray jerseys, red numerals, gets the 3 ball to go straight up in. Marquavius Wilson averages 15.9. He's put the Spartans on top in the first 30 seconds. Now out ahead, and you saw Brock Brown thought twice about going straight to the basket at just 5'9" when he realized the length of the two guys behind him. Now the step back and the ball. Here come the Spartans. Outlet 4-on-2. Drop pass underneath, maybe a little bit too much, but still with the layup. And Wilson, this team, if you have not seen the Spartans before, can absolutely fly. X had 31 on Saturday night and held Ottawa Glandorf to their lowest point total in the series since 1970. And as I have a Titan alum to my right, he's not impressed with that stat, but just shows you what they can do defensively.
It's the first time I'm going to see Lima seniors right now, and I'm telling you what, they are ball hawks. They are all over the place.
And they are fast. We talked about off the air, you've got a lot of media here covering this game, and you know, a guy that we have a lot of respect for on the Lima radio and the voice of the Bowling Green Falcons, and Todd Walker to our right. He just talks, he raves about this team's defense. We all talk about their offense, but like you said, they could go flat out and get the basketball on the defensive end of the floor. Now inside, X with the first touch underneath the basket, kicks it back out, and the miss. Wilson will chase it down. It won't go. Back inside go the Spartans. Free throw line from Flowers. Back out top to him, now thrown into the front row. That's where the coaches have been sitting a lot during the day in the first turnover. Bob Huggins was here earlier on. Again, we've had just a slew of amazing coaches. Now Wilson will try and defend the basketball as he is matched up with DeBron Robinson. Robinson feeds it back inside. Cougars trail 5-0. The first 2 minutes gone here. 3-ball off the mark for Brock Brown. And the rebound comes down into the hands of Jalen Thomas. Simpson now trying to deke out the defense. Gets it back out. Spartans love to shoot from outside. Now down into the corner. Wide open jumper off the rim. And look at the skying from Kadeem Jones. 6'2" is the junior for the Cougars. And he just went up and got that basketball. First foul of the game comes at the 5:23 mark, and it'll be on Jalen Thomas. That is Jay's first, and the first foul of the game. Still 5-0, the Spartans lead on the scoreboard here in the final game of this year's tournament. And Jay picks up quick back-to-back fouls, and that will not make Coach Quincy Simpson very happy, as he has to make a substitution and bring back in Darius Gordon to the lineup early on. Didn't want to do that until later on. Gordon at 1.1 points per game, but he can play some defense. He's one of the best shot blockers on the team as well. A weird ball on the hop there for Darnell Hoskins. Obviously the coach's son. And Coach Hoskins, things are not going Thurgood's way right now. Spartans bring it across the timeline. X broke the Lima City scoring record this year that was previously held by Ohio State's Greg Simpson, set back when he was an All-American in the early 90s. Xavier misses the floater, and it gets tied up. The possession arrow says Cougars to our right. Get a look there at Coach Darnell Hoskins in the black polo. Very sharp looking. All the Lima senior coaches on the other side in their suits tonight. As Quincy Simpson, very dapper looking. That suit that he's got going on. Now the ball on the floor, and his team is going to be bailed out. I should say Thurgood Marshall is going to be bailed out as a turnover there. It's still 5-0 LSH. 4:36 to go in the first. Again, Simpson headed to Michigan, the Division I co-player of the year last season, but did not start off his high school career at Lima Senior. Started off, they call it a 1 1/8 at South Cable Road in Lima Central Catholic. Catholic, actually the number 1 team in Division III. So good for Lima basketball. When his dad came to coach, he came to play. And he will go to the free throw line. And Lima Senior will take their opportunity for the first 4 players, not named Xavier Simpson, to talk to Coach Q about probably about defense. He loves to preach that.
Well, he was wide open on the low block on the back side, and Thurgood Marshall must have forgotten where he was because he was wide open.
Xavier hit the free throw, and he turned back around as if to say, where'd everybody go? He realized that he had nobody behind him. Spartans get their 7th point as Xavier, with a quick 2 from the free throw line, shoots 63-1. From that perspective, his 2 and coupled with the 5 from Arquavius Wilson put Lima Senior on top 7-0. We're halfway through this quarter, and as of yet, Thurgood Marshall has not scored. A double block, 4 hands there, and here comes X with the layup. Xavier Simpson off the window. The circle gets the square. It's 9-0. There's the speed of Xavier as he completes the and one opportunity, sets the ball down. It's 11-0 Lima Senior. Remember about 45 seconds ago when Xavier Simpson had no points? Yeah, he's got 6.
Didn't take long either.
Back to the free throw line, looking to go 3 for 3 as you see the replay. Just the speed for the Spartans. He got out ahead and got that layup, and now gets the free throw as well. 12-0 in favor of the Lima Senior Spartans over Thurgood Marshall. Did not see that coming. A good defense is going to come to an end. It had to eventually. Darnell Hoskins throws in the first 2, but it did not come until the 3:50 mark of the first quarter. Xavier now leading the offense, 4 players right on top of one another, trying to set something up. Wilson with the left hand skips it across and gets called for the offensive foul. Just a little bit out of control right there.
Yeah, trying to do too much with too little. And there again, we've seen a pass go right in between 2 players out of bounds, and either way, it was going to be a turnover.
You feel like Lima Senior is trying to match their tempo with their intensity right now as they come out in this game, trying to get to 10-0?
I do think so.
Hoskins now with a jumper from the corner. He's got consecutive baskets and trims into the lead. It's down to 8. Good-looking jumper as he didn't even hesitate. Now Xavier, he didn't hesitate either, off the mark. Maybe he should have. Hoskins comes down with a rebound. He'll chase X all the way to the basket, and he'll beat him, but the ball out of bounds. It will stay with Thurgood Marshall off of the hands of Wilson.
It just sort of looks like Thurgood Marshall on the offensive side, Mike, is just a little out of sorts right now. Might be some nerves, maybe.
Thurgood Marshall coming off a 55-52 loss to St. Vincent St. Mary, who we saw win here at Flyin to the Hoop yesterday. Now here is the runner for Brown. Brock Brown gets it to go. 5'9" is the senior, and 6 straight points for Thurgood Marshall. Cut the lead to 6. Here in the latter part of the first quarter. 2:50 to go. A good portion of the city of Lima in the building, and Xavier a little too fast as Lima Senior turns it over for the second time. Yeah, there were only 80 pre-sale tickets left at Lima Senior yesterday morning, and they had given them a couple of hundred for this one game. A little runner, look at that. 12-point run to open the game, and it's now an 8-point run. They actually put the score up on the wrong side. There you go.
Upshaw checks in for Lima Senior, along with Darius Gordon.
Say it should be 12-8. So Senior having to make a couple of substitutions. Xavier catches it with 2.5 to go in at the first quarter at the volleyball line. Now he'll bring it back up, crossover, free throw line. Averages about 5 assists a game as well for the Spartans, in addition to the 31 points. Senior had 2 different shots at that, and it goes out of bounds, and you can see the frustration from DeBron Robinson. As you see him turn around right there, and he pulled the jersey up over the head as if to hide for even 2 seconds. DeMonte Lyles with the basketball, gives it back to Xavier. He'll take it. A little hesitation, and he almost bullied his way off the window with that shot. X now with 9. It is now 14-8 with 1:54 to go in the fast-moving first quarter, and You know, that's how Lima Senior games go. They don't turn over the ball a lot, and comparatively to other teams, they don't foul a lot. They've got 3 on the board right now. Now here is the pitch to Brown. Perfect play underneath. And again, you could pretty much surmise that anything I say, the opposite is about to happen.
Yeah, but that's a good foul by Upshaw, though, because otherwise I think Claiborne was going to bring that one down. He had the step, and he did that hard dribble, so make him earn it at the free throw line.
There you saw a quick look of Darius Gordon. 3 Spartans standing in front of the line. No Cougars, just Evan Claiborne. His free throw thuds off the back of the rim. So it remains at 2 points, and it's his total. Spartans as a team, by the way, 55% from the field, 42.5% from the three-point line, and that's not just 10 or 12 shots. They're 71 of 67 from behind the arc. Second of 2 free throws. That one looked a lot like the first. It just kind of thudded from right to left. Now Xavier with the ball and a 6-point lead. Axel bringing it back to the right hand, trying to create some room on the baseline. Loves to take that drive. Now underneath, through a laser to Keaton Upshaw. And it's 16-8 as he picks up his first 2 points. Now the ball on the ground. X went to the basket, but couldn't find it. Just shot it a little too long. The fact that he was even able to get up where he was dribbling at is the interesting part of that. Goes out of bounds and back to Thurgood Marshall with a minute 13.
I'm not too sure he didn't take a knee to the face there, though, Mike.
I think you're right, because he sort of did turn his head right away. But a personal foul goes up on the board against DeMonte Lyles. They put number 1 up. And the trap in the corner. Smart job by Keaton Upshaw not to reach. He just put himself in front with the body. And when it didn't work, he went back up the court. Now into the corner. Here's the 3 off the mark. They stick back. And they're going to get the foul.
Giving it to Ward.
They'll give it to Jarius Ward. I was wondering if they were going to try and give it to Darius Gordon, because all he did was have Evan Claiborne jump over top of him. Claiborne did a nice job of putting himself in a good position between 3 different Spartans, but he still finds the well dry from the free throw line. 56 seconds to go here in the first. A raucous atmosphere as Claiborne shoots, and he's still 0 for 4 in the quarter. He's got just 2 points. If he hits even half of those, he has his squad in double digits. The final game of the Premier Health Flyin to the Hoop for this season. Next year, set to be loaded as well, as a lot of good teams throughout the country have a lot of just juniors with big college offers. Saw La Lumiere earlier against a couple of teams, as they have a junior in Brian Bowen, who's one of the top players in the country. And there's a top shot from Jarius Ward. Ward this season, 39% from out there, gives the Spartans a 19-8 lead. They have a couple of different games this year where they have put up points in bunches, and they've almost gotten 100. See if they can do anything remotely close to that, as they shoot for the 80s for most of the games with the tempo that they play. Ball knocked away from behind. They'll say it was last touched by Brown. Smart job by Ward. Again, defensively, Coach Q's strategy is all about putting yourself in a good position to make a smart play. Not necessarily the flashy play, but make the smart play.
Right, he's definitely got these guys dialed in.
It's another thing, you know, we talked to Petey Pullen. We asked him the other night about, hey, do you keep your guys from understanding, hey, do not make the flashy play, just make the good play? He says yes. Q has the same theory. Xavier wasn't aware of the clock and didn't realize that the clock was running out. 19-8 in favor of Lima Senior High after 1, as you get a look here at the jumper. Look at there's the crossover, and now all the way to the basket for the layup. Senior finds himself up 11 after the first quarter here on SUVtv.
With specialists in every area of orthopedic medicine. With a full range of orthopedic care, from physical therapy to complex surgical procedures. With a passion for helping you live life to the fullest. That's how we're leading in orthopedics. That's how Premier Health is leading with care.
Start of the third quarter, Thurgood Marshall walks out on the court. You see him in the white jerseys to the left, down by an 11-point margin. Lima Senior will start the second quarter with the basketball as they've got their starters back on the floor, Marquavius Wilson. And now Ward will come back into the backcourt and pick up the basketball. Now onto the wing. There's the point guard, and Xavier Simpson. Spartans if you were to pull out a domino and it had the 5 on it, it's what that would look like.
Wow.
Can you give an assist, as it was intended to be a shot from X, but Jarius Ward gets the stick back to go. And it's weird, as far as it was shot over, it came right down into his hands. That's playing together and knowing where the other guy's going to be.
It is, and the best rebound's one that you don't have to jump for, and no better example of that than right there.
Yeah, you don't want to sprain an ankle. Now the ball across the timeline for the Cougars. They trail 21-8. Taking a dive. Ruben Flowers, he didn't even get hit by anybody, as he's going to do at the University of Pittsburgh. Another steal. Here comes the ball from Aquavius Wilson, a little out of sorts, as he was able to throw it off of Kadeem Jones, so they will keep possession of it. And you can see it did not take very long, as Quincy Simpson is directly across the court from where we are. He had the nice sport jacket on. Now, it's warm in here, but it did not take him very long to ditch it. He's down to just the shirt and tie. We'll see how long the tie stays. It depends on how the Spartans continue to play defensively. Xavier's going to be fouled on his drive to the rim and stopped by, it will be DeBron Robinson. So the second foul, and that is the fifth. Lima Senior has 6. Back into the game is Brock Brown, who for a while was almost going to be like Cher based on the roster they gave us, just call him Brock. Apparently that's the only name that matters. Tip back over the top is good. Marquavius Wilson just jumped over, and then
Stafford did a nice little jump hook, though, from about 6 feet out, Mike. But, you know.
Sorry, it's actually Ruben Flowers. But you're right, both of them went up simultaneously. It was kind of hard to see which one of them tipped the ball. They're relatively the same size. And Flowers knocks down the free throw as well. It's 24-8 in favor of the Lima Senior Spartans. Made to the regional finals last year at 22-3, looking to go further and finish the mission is the mantra for Coach Q this year. Sets it up, knocks it down. Jarius Ward.
He gets the steal, Mike, and he gets rewarded with the 3.
He's got 8. It's 27-8. Now up ahead to the future CSU Viking in Evan Claiborne. He missed a shot, stayed with it, and is able to get his 4th point. Again, though, missed a handful of free throws in the first quarter. Finally gets his team into double digits at the 6:23 mark. 3 balls straight away is good. Marquavius Wilson, he's up to 8. 3 different Spartans now with big quarters, and it's 2 of them in Wilson and Ward with pair of triples. 30-10 LSH. Off balance shot. Wasn't necessarily a bad shot though from Hoskins, but he just couldn't find the bottom of the net. Now getting it to go. Ball blocked by Claiborne. Spartans stay with it. Stripped out of the hands by Brown. Quick little guard there at 5'9". Now he'll motor through traffic from one end to the other, and X giveth and taketh away. Leading the break 4-on-2. Threw it too long for Jarius Ward. And the turnover on the Spartans, as you see Jarius, he pointed at Xavier and said, "That's my bad."
Threw it off of Stafford, who was already out of bounds. 2 guys going for the out of bounds ball. And
it's kind of hard when one of you didn't establish anything in bounds.
right.
5.5 minutes to go in the first half. Hoskins now has it stolen away, 2-on-1. No look pass by X to Stafford. And the basket makes it 32-10. A timeout here in the second quarter as the Spartans are keeping Marcus busy with the replays. Look at that one. Look how far back that Ward unleashed that 3. Spartans rolling right now in the first half, up 32-10 here on SUVtv.
The 2016 Flying to the Hoop Invitational, powered by SUVtv. Sponsored by DP&L. Stay safe and warm with Dayton Power and Light. Premier Health, offering a better healthcare experience for you. Marriott Dayton, the host hotel for the Flying to the Hoop Invitational. Sports Image, promotion, marketing, and management. Omnisphere, advanced web solutions. Alley Cat Designs, covering everybody. Frickers, fun food and sports. And Pepsi, refresh your world.
A look there at the visiting Lima Senior Spartans. The distance doesn't seem to bother them. They've made themselves right at home here inside the Trent Arena as they lead 32-10. Right now, though, if you just look at the scoreboard, 2 different Lima Senior Spartans have almost as many points. Actually, 3 different have almost as many points as the Thurgood Marshall Cougars do, with 5:20 to go in the first half.
3 Lima senior players have 3/4 of the points.
Right, and so either way you look at it, it's an impressive start. Now here is Kadeem Jones. Jones will get it back to Hoskins. Hoskins had a good couple of jumpers right back to back. He's trying to call out the offense, but I don't know that any of his teammates can hear anything he's saying. Another turnover out ahead. Here comes Xavier working against Hoskins to the rack. Claiborne cannot block it from behind, and Xavier, that's actually his first 2 points of the quarter, but he's the leading scorer in the game with 11 overall. Hard screen from Claiborne right at midcourt. Wait and see if X remembers that one. He'll take it out ahead, and the easy scoop layup. If you played that replay and the one we showed you earlier on top of each other, it would probably almost exactly line up. X now with 13. He averages 30.8. Good idea to get it to Claiborne, but he threw the shoulder on the way down. Amir Farid is the best part of that play, though. He, with the ball fake, waited for it to go by, and you see either Coach Q is explaining to his guys about not double dribbling, or he was playing an air guitar. I'm not really sure what that was about. And get a look at Coach Darnell Hoskins on the other side.
Well, he knows that he's up 26 with 4:10 left here to play in the second quarter, Mike, and that lead's not safe against a pretty good throw, yeah.
8-7 Thurgood Marshall. And, I talked to him yesterday, and he had actually this morning at about 2 o'clock. He had absolutely nothing but terrific things to say about this squad and about the theory that they would blow out this squad. And, he said, no, they've got a couple of really nice ball players. Obviously, not having the service of Derek Daniels, who's headed to Miami of Ohio with an academic issue, changes things a little bit. But, he had nothing but good things to say about Evan Claiborne. And again, now you see him jawing with the officials.
Rico Stafford picked up the foul, his first, so we walk it all the way down to the other end for Claiborne.
I just found out the answer to, can you ever get too much basketball? Apparently the guys in front of us said yes, or they realized that this first half was going to be a big part of it. I've never seen a 6'7" guy bank in a free throw until just now. And even Claiborne, when he did it, he sort of turned around and had a look on his face as if to say, yeah, I don't believe that happened either. Spartans make a line change. As you see Coach Q explaining to Jalen Thomas exactly what he wants. Thomas is the leading scorer of the group that's out there right now. DeMonte Lyles, the 5'8" senior, and Keaton Upshaw. So you go from
look at him, he's laughing on the way back.
You go from one extreme to the other. You get a shot banked in, and then you get an air ball. All right, that's different. Oh, went for the slam. Claiborne with the block on the double pump. Long throw, almost nutmegged it. Steve's a big soccer guy. He gets that one.
Yeah, now we're going to have a blocking foul.
And that one will go on Kyle Rembert, the 5'9" junior. As you see Kyle walk back to the line. 8 fouls against Thurgood Marshall and 7 against the Spartans. 3:32 to go in the first half. LSH was up 19-8 after one. Now they find DeMonte Lyles at the free throw line. DeMonte cannot collect on the first free throw. He would have gotten a second if he could have made it. That is actually just his 3rd free throw of the year. He had come in perfect at 2 of 2. Cougars with the basketball. About 3 minutes ago, trailing here by 25 in the opening half. Amir Farid with the ball. Defense right up on top of him as the Spartans sag back and wait and see just what the dangerous Hoskins will do. The answer, get himself to the free throw line.
Foul's going to go on Gordon, Mike. That'll be his first.
Darius, a 6'1" senior, averaging 1.8 points per game. Xavier Simpson checks back in to the lineup. You see him out there with Gordon. Hoskins connects on the free throw. So his 5th point of the game. Also Keaton Upshaw. And you see with the sleeve on the left arm there, Jalen Thomas. Add to DeMonte Lyles in that list. And you've got the 5 Spartans on the floor now. 6 points in the game for Hoskins as he gets both free throws. Spartans, though, leading at 36-13. Instead of driving inside, Keaton Upshaw looks at it and says, I should just throw that in. And he does. 38-13 with 2:41 remaining in the first half. See the shooting sleeve popular there with the 2 guys guarding one another. Ball fed into the post. Lyles decides not to offer out of Hoskins from long distance with the laser. Hoskins, that is the first made 3 by Thurgood Marshall in this contest. Now Xavier back to the right, and he'll bring the screen to the left. Gets rid of Claiborne, who was out there attempting to guard him. A ball short, rebound Spartans, and the foul will send at number 14, Darius Gordon, to the free throw line. A 6'4" senior. And again, you see right there, a terrific shot of Coach Q, even up 40-16. He's not ever really satisfied. Gordon at the line. 2 of 2 this season. Now, as he came in, misses the and one opportunity. Under 2 minutes we go in at the first half. Line change coming up for Lima Senior again as they'll sub out 4 of 5 players. It's more interesting to see who they leave in with each group. Pitch play back into the corner. Now up on the scoop, and Claiborne with a slam. Nice move by Evan, but it was a better job offensively of Kyle Rembert just to get him the basketball. Spartans get a 3 from the left wing. Spartans get a make from the left wing from Darius Gordon. Gordon comes in averaging 1.8 points a game, Steve. He's got 2 quick shots and 5 overall.
You can't beat it. I mean, Lima Senior's just getting a lot of good looks at the basket. They're going to say he walked, which he should. That's a good call. But Lima Senior, you can't say much other than their fast break is very fast, and they're getting great looks, you know, on the offensive side. Thurgood Marshall's just not doing a good job on defense.
4 of the 5 players sub out for the Spartans, and it's just Xavier Simpson who will stay in there. You know, we talk a lot of times in Northwest Ohio about, we talk to a lot of coaches, and Tyson McLaughlin, who's the coach at Ottawa Glandorf, just got beat the other night by this team, and one thing that he talked about was, if you're any other team, there is not a way to simulate the amount of speed, not in practice, not in any kind of shoot-around that you're going to see from this squad. And, you know, especially in Northwest Ohio and into their region, there's nobody that can run as well as they can. And they're showing that right here. It's just a fraction of what they have done to teams all season long, and they have beaten some very good basketball teams. Thurgood Marshall on the other side has won their first against Dunbar.
Well, let me ask you something, Mike. Is it possible that these two teams meet in the regional final somewhere?
I doubt it. Considering the teams that are between them, I seriously doubt it. A shot up and in from Marquavius Wilson. Makes it a 46-20 game. A lot of teams nowadays, 46 points is an entire game. It's the score with 16 seconds to go in the first half for Lima Senior. And it should be a foul. I believe it's going to be on Ruben Flowers. That'll be 2 shots upcoming.
Jet lag, Mike, jet lag.
Right. Again, he did not make his coach very happy because he scheduled a visit at Pittsburgh, and he's already committed there to play football. And his coach asked him, hey, why would you schedule a visit during your season?
There's a lot of people leaving right now.
His question was, you know, I'm not sure. I just made a mistake. So he missed one game, apparently came back either late last night or today, and is playing well here early on. And you're right, a lot of people trying to hit the highway and avoid traffic. Darnell Hoskins with both free throws. And a stark contrast to, if you remember the final game last year, where we had Findlay Prep. There's the back door, the lob just too strong off the rim for Rico Stafford. And at a half, it is 46-22. But if you remember the last game we had here last year, where Wayne knocked off the then #1 team in the country in overtime, stark difference to how full this place was the entire night. As you see Xavier driving to the lane and getting it, and how empty it's about to be for the second half. People really trying to hit the highway early on. It is all Spartans at the half. 46-22 in favor of Lima Senior here on SUVtv.
Sir, big show tonight.
Jed, pull over here.
Hey, man, you Jamal, right? Hey, man, take a Pepsi.
Thank you.
Put your hands up and just turn up the bass. Welcome to the stage, Jamal Lyon.
There's a break in the action, so let's take a look at that last play. Dan?
Amazing spin move, Bob.
And here's the follow-through.
Unbelievable.
Let's go down to the field and Stacy.
Guys, the story here is the Wilsons got instant in-store discounts from DP&L on energy efficient CFLs, like this one. What a heads-up move. Be a Savings champion. Visit savewithdpl.com.
Seconds inbound pass to Marbury as he works on the defense of Johnson, dribbles by Robinson, takes it to the baseline, running jump shot, good! 2 seconds left.
Second half of action, just to look around the arena right now.
Cleared out pretty good, too,
Kind of
didn't it?
interesting. It was as if everyone was handed a check and at the same time just walked out the back door. Because, I mean, it is absolutely, there's nobody in here anymore. It was warm, and now you can feel that they opened the doors outside, apparently repeatedly. Xavier Simpson starts off the third quarter for Lima Senior, picking up his 15th point, halfway to his average. Will he be in long enough to get his average? I guess you'll have to wait and see. He tips one away, and even if it doesn't come up to him, he leads the break 3-on-1. Now to the basket. A missed shot. Spartans, though. Johnny on the spot with the rebound. You know, it's kind of weird if you watch the body language for Flowers after he got that to go. It even feels like the Spartans just want to hurry up and put an end to this one and go back to the 4-1-9.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about 90 minutes up the road to Lima Senior High School.
By bus, it's probably closer to 2.5 hours.
That's once they get done signing all the autographs. Shot is short for Darnell Hoskins. Had a good first half and leads his squad with 11. Flowers misses on the, well, he wanted to go Dunk City, but he had to change it up. And Hoskins with a beautiful spin move, even if it counts for goaltending. That's a nice looking trailer from Rico Stafford. I'm trying to remember, again, the other day, Steve and I did a girls' game at Lima Senior, and before the game, we were seeing the athleticism of this team. They were throwing the ball off the wall behind the backboard, catching it and throwing tomahawk dunks. So that tells you how quick they are with getting the basketball from up to down.
And athletic.
Now here is Hughes, or Hoskins rather. He gets the shot. And the Spartans, well, X able to save it from going out of bounds. So one turnover does not beget another. Xavier looks inside, 50-24 now in the third. And a foul that should be against their Richardson. Number 21 who checked into the game. And a swat. Talk about getting up, Evan Claiborne. But the three, was that from the parking lot? Marquavius Wilson, that is his fourth three-pointer of the game. He's got 14.
Lima Senior tried the alley-oop on the inbound to Stafford, and man.
Again, I'm pretty sure that Wilson ran out to see why all the people are leaving and just threw that one up on his way back in. Now here is the crossover down to the block, and Claiborne hangs in the air, gets up the basketball to Richardson, who taps it in. Tommy with his first basket as he's getting some playing time here in the second half of what is a 53-26 game. Over on the top side, here's Marquavius Wilson with the basketball. Now Xavier Simpson, he'll take one dribble, throw up the three, and it'll be rebounded by number 3 in Brock Brown for Thurgood Marshall. Back the other way. As you could see the entire time as that ball's going down the line, you see Ruben Flowers was holding up the left hand, just waiting to try and throw one, but unfortunately for him, he picks up the foul with the opposite hand, and that is number 2 on Ruben. Darnell Hoskins at the line. He has a scoring machine here tonight. He's got 13 of the 26 points, make it 14 of 27. And he's still perfect from the line, 5 for 5. We get one more looking for point 28. Throws a knuckleball up and in. Now here come the Spartans. The ball thrown right back, and it comes right back to Lima Senior. Now before the shot, a bump on Tommy Richardson. That is going to keep Jalen Thomas from getting to the basket. Second foul on Tommy Richardson. Spartans with the ball, 5 minutes to go in the third. Xavier now with the crossover, comes to the middle of the lane, throws a floater high, and is fouled. Richardson 3 fouls in a span of 3 minutes and 5 seconds. We'll put Xavier Simpson at the free throw line, 63.1%. Actually, I shorted him. He's 70.6. That is just his field goal shooting.
And he made it, so he's got 16, working on 17.
Free throw is no good for Xavier. His first miss, and just the second, now a third Spartan miss. Line change has been the theory for subs for Lima Senior. See how long it goes before that happens again. And now down into the corner, Wilson on the dribble, got hung up through a funky ball to Simpson. That is globetrotted quickly from the post into one side and back out to Marquavius Wilson. Wilson with the game-high 17 points. He's one above his average already. Hoskins with the runner, two-hand shot won't go. Here come the Spartans out in transition, threw it way out ahead and got the layup to go. Rico Stafford. And Rico, he can jump out of the gym, but he's saying, hey, nice ball.
I can tell you one thing. I thought that pass was way too far out in front of him, and he ended up tracked it down.
6'4" and a long wingspan will help him do that. Now here's Hoskins with the basketball. He'll pull up and take the three. He'll make the three. Darnell has got 2 makes from behind the arc. He's got 18 points overall. Again, we talked about the layups earlier. If you were to put those two over top of each other, they'd be almost the exact same. Stafford misses on the shot from straight away. Thurgood Marshall comes down with a rebound, keeping themselves in it at 59-31. And Hoskins goes to the backboard and is deposited on the floor.
We're going to have to check on Hoskins. He got up really, really slow.
It looked like he landed on his elbow. Jalen Thomas with the foul. That is Jay's 3rd foul. 3 minutes and 58 seconds to go in the third of the final game. Hoskins 3 for 3 from the line in this quarter. Ward and Upshaw into the game. Jarius and Keaton. For Lima Senior, it's a 32-59 game. Second free throw up and down for Hoskins. Terrific game for him. 20 points, but unfortunately his team has just 13 outside of him. Simpson with a left elbow free throw line jumper. Xavier's got 18. He's now the team's leading scorer. Trails Hoskins, the one-man show right now for the Cougars. He'll take a deep three, put the leg out, and it won't come anywhere near. That's the Kobe Bryant move, I believe. Simpson with the old Kobe Bryant move with the miss. Actually, come to think of it, he missed it, so it's the new Kobe Bryant move. And Jalen Thomas with the miss as well. Now running into a brick wall is Hoskins. That brick wall had an X written on it. And another one underneath is Keaton Upshaw. 3rd foul now for Lima Senior.
Well, one thing I find interesting, Mike, with the 5 guys they have up on the board for Lima Senior, there's 47 points up there out of the 61.
Yeah, they, like I said, they can get buckets in bunches. That's what we've been told all season long. The first time we have both actually seen them in person. I'm running out of room for Darnell Hoskins here in this quarter. I'm going to have to write smaller. Or just start writing his points above here in the scorebook. So give him to somebody else, maybe. Just make it look more even. Another free throw for him. He's 6 of 6 from the line in this quarter. 22 points. What a rocket inside, and what a block by Evan Claiborne. That Claiborne's 3rd different block like that now.
Yes.
He is.
I thought maybe one of the officials was going to say something to Claiborne, though, because he showed up Stafford on that block.
And speaking of being shown up, Simpson just used the smartest thing he could think of. Just hide behind the defense, throw it up off the inbounds. He's got 20. Hoskins with the old Kobe jumper for 3. Again, that's the one where he makes it, not the 13% he's currently shooting from 3. 25 points in the game. His team, ironically, down by the exact same number. Simpson is fouled as he dribbled through two different players in Robinson and Richardson.
He's just got great court awareness, though, Mike. You know, I mean, he seen the double team coming and he tried splitting it. I mean, it was right down in front of us, and you know, that's just not something. I mean, it's something that you want to teach, but you got to have a kid that is willing to do that.
Also helps coach's kid, high aptitude for court and getting his teammates to basketball. There are 4 fouls right now in the third quarter on Thurgood Marshall. Every single one of those is on Tommy Richardson, who just headed to the bench. I always know where he's at because he's got the bright purple shoes. But he's going to probably be able to listen to the entire contest as it's that quiet in here. But I was confused. I watched the referee walk over, and I thought maybe with the pace that he just needed a Gatorade break.
Well, he just...
Be honest, at first you did too.
Hey, but he grabbed the towel because there's wetness on the ball.
He eventually grabbed the towel.
Right.
And a foul here from the official closest to us. 1 minute, 47 seconds to go in the third.
That foul's gone on Rembert.
Yes, it will. As that will be his second. Feed inside to Xavier, throws one over the top. I think he just threw it too fast. He went high and Upshaw went low. Into the front row. It's 10 degrees outside. I've seen about 5 kids now walk by wearing shorts. It's amazing. Who's to say kids from Ohio aren't tough? Jumper offline for Hoskins. He has not missed very many in this entire game, let alone in this quarter, so a rare misfire from him. Again, he's got 25, his team down by that amount. As the ball took a weird hop from Ward as he tried to throw it. And again, the common thread there is Keaton Upshaw. Lima senior coaches all dressed in their suits. There are 7 of them. And they have, each one has a various chart and apparently a completely different job to do.
Foul's going to go on Thomas for Lima Senior. If that is, that'll be his 4th.
So he will walk over and get a seat on the bench. They'll get him one right in the middle. We'll bring in DeMonte Lyles. Lyles had just one opportunity to get in the scorebook in the first quarter as he missed the free throw. There you see him walk past the coaches. You see the pink shirt there, Chris Jackson on the end. An amazing guy, runs a youth program for the basketball in the city of Lima. Runs it free of charge. He's got a camp that they help sponsor that these Lima Senior kids have volunteered at during the course of the year. That's run by a pair of Big Ten point guards. And Travis Walton from Michigan State and Jamar Butler, who went to Ohio State. Now off the rebound, X off and running. And he's going to get free throws. You saw just that quick little hop step on his way created the opportunity for him to be fouled by Amir Fareed. Interesting as you look off at the opposite bench, Hoskins. He's either got a Charlie horse or some kind of cramp, and he's going to have to be substituted for. He is about 3/4 of his team's offense right now. Kadeem Jones will come in for him, and he'll take a seat, and they'll look at his leg. Simpson with a free throw, up and down. So Xavier picks up his 21st and 22nd point. Under a minute to go here in the third quarter, final game of this year's Premier Health Flyin to the Hoop Classic. And the officials are sure establishing themselves in this game.
Foul's going on Gordon.
6 fouls here in the quarter for each squad. It's the second there on Darius. And again, the clock stops with 47 seconds to go. A 65-38 margin. It is 16 points in the quarter for Thurgood Marshall, most of those coming from Darnell Hoskins, who's currently sitting on the bench. Ball played back perfectly to Claiborne. He looked outside as if he didn't know the situation. He threw up a weak shot. Now here comes Xavier, and he had his shot partially blocked off the fingers of DeBron Robinson. And before the Spartans can reset the offense, Jarius Ward called for the travel. It's gone from being the marquee night game in terms of fan attendance to kind of feeling like the 10 a.m. game right now, where it's everybody's not awake early, but
Clock never started.
the ones that are here are, at least still here, I should say, are into the game. Probably a lot of people, too, though, that think, they drove a pretty long distance down here. They're going to stay and watch the entire thing. Now Hoskins back in there, so apparently whatever it was that was ailing him, he just needed some Gatorade and a chance to sit for a minute or so.
Lyles picks up foul number 2.
So there you go. DeMonte still has not scored, averages a third of a point a game. And Hoskins at the line. Darnell filling up the board with 26. Trying to be the leading scorer in this year's tournament. I think he's got to get to 35. No, I'm sorry, you said 40. So he's got a quarter of work to do if he wants to be this year's leading scorer. And Keaton Upshaw threw that up. It was almost, though, like he was throwing an alley-oop. 3 quarters in the book, 67 for the Lima Senior Spartans, and 40 for the Thurgood Marshall Cougars. Back with the 4th after this on SUVtv.
Sir, big show tonight.
Jed, pull over here.
Hey, man, you Jamal, right? Hey, man, take a Pepsi.
Thank you.
Put your hands up and just turn up the bass. Hey, 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 hey,
Grew up, stood up, and now I'm ready to go.
ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Jamal Lyon.
Cougars trail by 27 as we begin the 4th quarter of action in the end of the last quarter of this year's Flyin to the Hoop, brought to you by Premier Health and all of the games here on SUVtv. Spartans started out with a turnover, and Hoskins is going to try and make him pay for it, but he misses with the left hand, and here we go. Or not.
Look, he's gone on travel.
Ruben Flowers. Yeah, he did. He walked, and then the remaining fans that are in the building, and they're from Lima, when I say this, by the way, are openly booing him. Never seen a kid admit to getting away with a travel. Claiborne can't get it high, or maybe a little too high, and he even out-jumped himself as we're playing Connect 4 with humans. They just, I guess they get wrapped up and have to be separated.
Claiborne and Flowers.
Yeah. Maybe they're just trying to get in early on the Cleveland-Pittsburgh rivalry, because Claiborne's going to play at Cleveland State and Flowers is going to play at Pittsburgh to play football. Maybe they're just trying to get into that early. Might as well. Ruben Flowers. You know what? is fascinating to me. He wears the number 11. When he gets to Pittsburgh, that's not the number he's going to be wearing. There's a guy, I guess you could say he's pretty good. In Larry Fitzgerald, you may have heard of him. He'll be playing against the Panthers next weekend.
Probably had that number retired.
He and Carson Palmer pulled off one of the best goal line plays I've seen in a long time as Bruce Arians went with a shovel pass. And that was 2 plays after Fitzgerald last weekend caught a 75-yard reception. So the fact that he was even able to, nobody saw him in the backfield. If you see Larry Fitzgerald in the backfield, you should know he's getting the football. I mean, Marshawn Lynch would hate it because you should run it from the goal line, but whatever. Air ball turns into a foul here with 6:47 to go.
Probably going to go on Ward.
It'll be a 1-and-1. And a long conversation between Xavier Simpson and the official. I don't know if he's asking him what Ann Arbor is like this time of year, maybe. Cold. The answer is cold. Free throw good here for point number 41 and the first point of the game for DeBron Robinson. Second one good as well for Mr. Robinson. So it turns out the free throw line is his neighborhood. 70-42, Lima Senior with the lead. On the opposite side, all but 15 points have come from Darnell Hoskins. Now a partial block by Claiborne. And the Spartans are 6.5 minutes, presumably, unless extreme tragedy happens, from being at 10-0. And when the new polls come out tomorrow, they will still be likely the number 2 team in the state of Ohio in Division I, behind Wayne, who did themselves no disservice this weekend as they came up with a big win over IMG Academy. 3 ball from the corner. To be honest with you, I did not even notice Marquavius Wilson over there. He stood there for so long waiting on that ball. Spartans giveth and taketh away. X on the pull-up, short on the three-pointer. And Coach Q is very upset. I guarantee when he watches this back, he is not going to be very happy. Here's your chance for the highlight. And there's the slam. So it didn't come from the hand of Reuben Flowers, but it comes from Rico Stafford's right hand. And the Spartans about to empty the bench, and that might be the last that you see of this group. Hoskins with the runner, high arcing, and a good-looking shot for Darnell. He's got 29. And it's 72-44. And, you know, it's kind of one of those interesting things, too, Steve, at this point, where Q's a very competitive guy, but he's not trying to completely run up the score. And right now, the Spartans probably could have. And they're going to put in that second line group that, you know, they're scoring pretty well in themselves.
I guess there's continuation in high school sports too.
That would be from the first block if you're going down all the way to the basket. If there is not continuation, I don't know what is going on. Kadeem Jones with his first 2 points of the game. It is the last foul, or the second foul I meant to say, on Rico Stafford. And the bench now empty. You've got Jaleel Long in there, a 6-foot sophomore, along with Brian Miller. They call him BJ. Kadeem Jones finishes off the three-point play. And I think at this point you're just going to get a look at the JV team, and a good look at the JV team.
You can put 15 in the book, so I'm sure Coach Q put all 15 in there.
I'm sure that he did. So here is the free throw, and it's up and good. If there's one way we can find out who this kid is. Now here is Hoskins. He will take the jumper. That's a nice shot, but you know at some point you're just in there making the stat look better for your team.
I was going to say a little better late than never, I guess is the theory.
Claiborne with the rebound for the Cougars. Here's Hoskins from deep range, and he comes off with the miss. Titus Schutz is number 34 for Lima Senior. You see him in there into the game. Spartans back on defense. We've still got halfway to go in this quarter. Tommy Richardson, remember early in the quarter, he picked up, in the third quarter I should say, that he picked up 4 fouls in a row? Neither does he. That's how he's playing. Zanesto Martin with the 2. So 3 minutes and 30. That's what I'm waiting on to see who 32 is. Now Hoskins with another deep 3. Again, he's decided that the quickest way to 40 points is to shoot 3 different threes. And he is Coleman now with the 3. He's got 4 points. I guess that means you got to find out who he is and make sure that his mom is listening or watching. Kadeem Jones. And this is going to be a weird ending because I don't think that the box score when it comes out tomorrow is going to fully tell the story of this game. And it's Titus Schutz, by the way, is the young man that we watched throw that tomahawk off the wall.
Yep.
I just realized that that is who we saw. Kadeem Jones had no points, what'd you say, about 3 minutes ago when the rest of the starters checked out. Now against this group, he's filling it up.
Well, Long was the other one that we seen on Saturday.
So it's another free throw for Kadeem Jones as we send out Evan Claiborne. Likely for the first time or the final time in this game with 2:43. I can't imagine that you want to bring him back in. And you've got a couple of games coming up. You got Meadowdale on Friday. They're a pretty good basketball team. To the rim and not able to connect was Jaleel Long. Still trying to find his first points. They stashed him somewhere here inside the Trent Arena, but maybe up in the corner. It shouldn't be hard to find him. 78-57. Now to the free throw line again goes Kadeem Jones. What it is they're just trying to take pity on fools or trying to keep people who have to tear down and try and get out of here. They're trying to keep them in the arena. Kadeem Jones with the second free throw. Jaleel King for Lima Senior checks in as well here as we have completely emptied the bench. High off the glass, his shot will be a miss, and this is just destroying the Spartans' shooting percentages right now, as they cannot get any shots to go from this group.
He's the one that was playing the one-on-one.
Never mind.
He was the one that was playing the one-on-one down on the end when we got there on Saturday, Mike.
Jaleel Long's got, with X.
Right.
Jaleel Long's got the longest shot of this game that has gone for 3, which is saying something when you consider how far out that Darnell Hoskins was taking threes earlier on. Spartans get the rebound up 81-59. They'll motor back down. Long thought about going to the three-point line again. Throws it off the glass. The youthful Spartans out on the floor right now get just the 3 points since the switch. Now to the bucket. Here's the drive and off the glass still. Kind of feel bad at this point for Brock Brown. He's played a hard game, but has not been able to get in the scoreboard since the first quarter. DeBron Robinson. That's his first make from the field. All of his points coming here in the fourth quarter. And at this point, when Spartans are fouled, I'm just hoping that they're the ones that I have in the scorebook, because I've officially run out of room. Yeah. Now to the free throw line will go Brian B.J. Miller. B.J. on the season has missed all 4 of his free throws.
Made that one.
Before that.
Made that one too.
Before that. Way back before that one, Stephen. 62 to 83, if you read it from left to right, is the deficit that is sitting in front of Thurgood Marshall. Shot high off the glass, and the rebound and the stick back. Lanier with the basket. Byron Lanier. Not sure if he and Bob are related. Wasn't that the joke you guys were using earlier on?
Yeah.
I don't know. Bob had a lot of really good shots. I didn't really see that one there. 83-64. Hopefully, this will just run out the final couple of seconds. Ball goes out of bounds on the contact. That's the best call of the night. Final 10 seconds as the Spartans can wrap up victory number 10 and take it back to Lima with them. Kadeem Jones got 13 points. Every single one of those came in this quarter. 83 to 66. Xavier Simpson finishes with a team high. Josh Jackson, Miles Bridges, so Trevon Duvall from Advantage Prep makes the all-tournament team as well. Good list. We will wrap up the flying of the hoop. Xavier Simpson, if you need 30 points, X is going to give it to you, in the words of the great Earl Simmons, as we finish up here. Thanks for watching every game of this year's Flying to the Hoop, brought to you by Premier Health. We've had a good time. We've had some good games. You can watch them all back on the website. Follow us online at SUVtv. Spartans roll to 10-0. 83-66 from all of us here at SUVtv. Have a great night and even better tomorrow.